Welcome back to, or no, not the welcome back. Screw the welcome back. I'm going to take the welcome back and just throw it out the window. Welcome to the 100th episode of the DCUO SourceCast. I am, of course, Trex, and alongside me for 90 of those episodes is Super Patriot.
What's going on, everybody?
So at 110, we'll celebrate your 100th episode.
Well, when I figured it, I counted back. I came on like the 18th episode.
Was it 18? I thought it was like...
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 10.
17 or 18. 17 or 18.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is your 100th. I'm not going to count that.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. So, I first want to start the podcast off by saying Happy Valentine's Day to Brittany.
Oh, my God.
What? I have no choice. And also big Happy Valentine's Day to, of course, our good friend Jimmy over at Jiminous Gamer, and all of you great players out there. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. Happy Valentine's Day. I had to make sure I covered all the bases of everything. But in case you guys weren't with us earlier today, and if you weren't, it's okay. We still love you. We started off with today with streaming over on the PlayStation side with Super Patriot.
Yep.
And and that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. I mean, it took you through a couple of duos and all that, and then Balkan joined us on his level 16 tune on his US side. And then we got Brittany into the group, and
yay.
We ran Balkan through a couple of normal alerts and everything to help him get leveled up. And Brittany dropped off to, go play with somebody else because Balkan hurt her feelings.
Very.
And then I went. You dropped off to start your stream up, and I took Balkan over, got him through the Metro Hospital mission, and then he dropped out of group and everything. I put together a raid group for Vengeance and Dawn. I wrapped those up, and here we are. Here I am. What'd you end up doing on your stream there?
I did a duo with Flame Strike Power. Great guy. We did that. Once I got to type up real fast. Did not. This is why we need to hire an actual...
I know. We need somebody to do our freaking... we need somebody... The volunteer.
Yeah, we can't pay anybody. We can't pay nobody.
Yeah.
But when the stream started off, we did the Night's Dome Arena, the duo with Flame Striker, and then I did, what else I do? I pugged Brothers in Arms, which no one followed me during Central City. Everyone kind of split. And I was like, where'd everybody go? And then, of course, me and my ragey self, I kind of pulled almost like 3 groups together, and just 2 people died. I didn't. But 2 people died, and I didn't get chastised, but I was expecting it. But it was still fun. So...
Well, I mean, if they died and you're tanking and they're not following you, that's not your fault. That's their fault.
Well, I mean, everybody got together at that time to try and come and save me, but it didn't help.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not your fault. That's their fault. That's on them, man.
Exactly. But we pressed on. We got through it. Very nice. I got a couple pieces that I really needed. I guess just styles. I did get a nice ring though. Nice little ring. Actually, with the camera actually on. There you are, my beautiful thing. I'm actually gonna wear my my Rage ring, my Red Lantern ring. Gonna wear it for you guys right there. Feels nice around my fingers again. But after the plug, I grabbed Michael Grid. I think I actually grabbed Zion DCO. I think he was on his tune, Android Boo or something. And then we grabbed the controller and we ran Trigon's Prison to end the stream.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I switched over. When I ended my stream, I switched over and saw you guys finishing up Trigon there. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, we wiped because Grid got a little too close to to Trigon there, and I'm like, oh, Grid's down, I can get him. Oh, no, I can't. I can't get him. So, but Rage DPS, man, we had a Rage DPSer in there. I think it was Boo, and wow, just blew through bosses like nothing. Just nothing. And yes, we do look at chat. We look at it everything.
Yeah, we look at the chat.
Yes. Ooh, my phone dinged. It leveled up.
Does the EU have the choice to join the US server? Yes. If you create a separate account on your PS3 or PS4 and you set it up as a US account, you can play on the US server. However, you cannot bring your US or your EU tune over to the US side.
Correcto.
Yep. There was another question in here talking about water powers. What do you think? What do you feel about water powers?
Put a sponge on it, call it a day.
My question to you is, what water powers? We don't have them.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, no water powers. All right, I'll put a sponge on that sucker right there.
Would it be cool to see them in the game eventually? Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Balkan seems to be starting trouble in chat, calling Brittany Jimmy again. He's trying to start stuff. Hey,
yeah, he's trying to.
This is me and Brittany's special day. I don't need Balkan for it. Oh, but 100 episodes. Wow.
Yeah.
This, I mean, I thought the milestone at 50 was big. We did 50 more, and we changed how we did the show, because beforehand it was a bi-weekly thing. Bi-weekly, almost like a 2-hour show. And then...
Well, I think what we did, it was bi-weekly recorded, and then we did a bi-weekly live stream, and like the week in between we recorded. And then you got the live stream bug, and all you wanted to do was live stream. That's all you ever wanted to do.
Well, yeah, that's my fault. Yes. That's...
Just like with Twitter. You know, you're like, I don't know, should we live stream it or not? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's all me. It's all me. So, yes, as Michael Griff puts it, that's over 200 hours of Super Patriot and I talking. Wow.
For some people, one episode of the SourceCast is almost 200 hours.
Actually, I don't know if it's 200 hours. I'm not really sure.
It's probably more than that, to be honest with you.
Actually, I wonder if I can look at my... Let me look.
I know we've had some long episodes. We've had some long shows.
Those are always my favorites. Always. So let me actually look at my folder and see if I can select all 99. See if it'll show me some details. The length...
Thanks, Brittany, for the congrats.
The length is 173 hours, 42 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Wow.
Almost. And for each and every one of you guys, we appreciate you guys listening in. It means a lot to us that you guys have been listening to us all this time. Whew. Just amazing. Just amazing.
Golden Key, I'm not sure if I'm going to be on that podcast about me on Sunday night or not. I don't know. I tried to be on it last Sunday. He wouldn't include me in the call. So.
Oh.
He was ducking me.
But we've 100. I mean, even the 50 episode, I've said it before, and even on the for this 100th, the show started off. And by the way, in memorandum to the DCUO Source.com, it was a great website.
Yes.
Scott Monday, I Hate Mondays, tried to keep it up as much as he could. Sadly, he couldn't, and there wasn't really traffic enough to keep it open. But 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 the SourceCast persevered. We stayed on, and we tried to keep the memory going as much as possible. But we wouldn't be here without you guys. Well, most likely we still would be here. It's just we wouldn't have you listeners. We'd just be talking to ourselves, and our moms would be just listening, and probably our kids or something, our cousins. It's like, hey, listen to this. I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to listen.
And we'd be remiss to if we did not mention the other that were around and everything. While when I started up with you,
Yep.
That the DCUO show guys over there, Phil and Burns, and of course the guys from DCUO Unlimited, with Apple.
I definitely saw it too. Okay.
Dirk James says here goes another Trexlight.
Yeah. That's never gonna stop. Never gonna stop. Probably because I'm actually showing like my face and video and stuff. But we should be coming back any moment now.
Okay.
Let me write down 11:18. Okay, I can remember that. All right, we're coming back. So sorry about that. I thought I had the internet fixed, and apparently I did not. So, but yeah, shout out to another podcast that was going on when we were going. It was a DCO show hosted by Phil and Stash. I still talk to Phil here and there, and he's doing really good. He has a lot of opportunities that have opened up for him, and I'm really happy for those opportunities for him. And I can't wait to see how they actually move along to. Can't wait. And I'm not really sure what Stash is up to. I'm not really sure, but I can say proudly, somehow, that we are the longest running DCUO podcast. So, cheers, sir. Cheers. It's not a beer. I wish it was. Or a nice little margarita or something.
I got a feeling I'm going to be hitting the bottle later tonight.
Wish I could be celebrating like that. Jeez.
Well, I mean, it's just, long day. I mean, for you, everything's pretty much done once we get done. I mean, we're going to be on the pre-show, right?
I think so. That's right. The FNL tonight is on the PlayStation. Yeah. We have the tournament tonight on FNL. Yeah. I completely forgot.
Olympus Legends 4 tonight. 2v2 Legends in ISIS. So it's a death match.
Yeah.
4 men enter, 2 men leave.
And sadly, I only have Robin, so I was not going to enter. I was not. There's no way.
You could have bought a Legends tune off the marketplace. You could have gotten your Lex Luthor off the marketplace, bumped your tune up to premium, and then you would have that Ranks and Mogo statues in your freaking lair.
I'm not ready for premium yet. I want to see how far I can get on free to play, even though I don't play the PlayStation as much.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
No, it makes 0 sense.
I know. I know. I want to try and walk in the shoes of free to players so I can understand where they're coming from.
Then you need to get on it more, sir.
But the TV is so good. I mean, Castle's on. It's so good. So good programming.
That's why you... Oh, my gosh. Dude, I've got a TV, all right, with my PC hooked up to it, right? Mm-hmm. So, when I'm playing the game, I can't look at my computer or I can't look at the TV. But I've got another monitor over here. It's smaller, but I've got another monitor that I could sit here and I could watch Castle, all that stuff on Hulu, while I'm farming and doing stuff.
I mean, it is true. I do have Hulu Plus, so.
See, there you go. So, all you gotta do is freaking, like dual monitor it up.
I'm already dual monitoring up. I got 2 of them right here in the TV.
Then you have 0 excuse.
No. I can always find an excuse.
No.
I'm a PC player. I can find excuses.
Oh, okay. Here you go. Yeah. PC player. PC elitist finding excuses.
That's right. Always a good time. Good time. So, are you wearing your DCO t-shirt now?
No, I'm not. I gotta actually. Where did I put it?
Where'd you put it?
No, I'm not wearing it right now. I will later.
Okay. I could use my PS3 for the WWE Network. I could. That's tempting, too. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to spend that money. The money I don't have. But I'll go ahead and actually stand up so you guys can actually see this. This is the DCUO t-shirt. It's really nice. Really nice. Love it. Thank you again, Meps and the devs, for this great t-shirt. Love it.
Yeah, I'm liking mine too.
So, I honestly don't really have much on the agenda besides just asking. We can, if you guys have any questions out there about DCO, about us, about anything. Well, kind of keep it video game kind of related, I guess. Gotta keep it DCO related, I guess, too. We're more than happy to answer. Let's actually, because we're not going to have a show after FNL like we normally do. We decided to have this early so we can try and interact with a little bit more. Try and possibly get one of the devs on if they're not too busy. But I mean,
they're not too busy, Meps.
Nudge, nudge. But since let's actually see if there is any new Ask DCUO. So remember, if you guys have any questions on the Facebook or on the Twitter, you'll need to go on there and just hit hashtag Ask DCUO and ask your question. If you're on Twitter, you have only 140 characters you can choose from before you stop. So, but on Facebook, please let's keep the questions down. Keep the questions down a little bit, please. That's a lot. That's a lot, to say the least. Okay. I mean, a lot of words just trying to get your thing in. So, do you want to do the first question?
Question.
Now again, we are not DCO developers, but because they still are forum news thing, we're going to still Ask DCO. So we're going to try and answer any questions that if they don't get to, or just for the heck of it, because we might know the answer, or we might not.
Yeah, we might know the answer. More likely, we don't. But I mean, there's some things. I mean, we've been playing the game for a long time and all that. We've interacted with the devs and all that, and there's a lot of stuff that we've learned from them. Not just stuff that we can't talk about, but stuff that we can talk about that with you guys. So yeah, by all means, feel free to ask us anything. Here, I'm actually looking at the Facebook right now, and I'm not seeing any questions there on the Facebook. What's up with that, people?
Not cool, people. Not cool.
Told y'all. In my video, at least. Let's see here. Balkan, I'm not answering that question on this live stream. I will answer that on the People's Podcast. Hitter Quitter says we should battle to the death. We actually did do that.
We have
done that. We did that on the test server back when Home Turf.
Yep.
Was introduced on the. I cheated. Look, sir. You were perfectly capable of going and getting yourself an orbital strike too. All right, so.
At that time I wasn't testing orbital strike, so.
No,
I did not expect to see a satellite ray gun of death.
What were we on the test server for? To test out Home Turf.
I wasn't at that stage yet. But all of a sudden it's like, la di da da, hitting. Oh, yep, look, I'm taking some damage. Oh, what's this reticule on the ground from? Well, laser from the sky. And wipe. That's what I got. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. But okay, yeah, just go over to Twitter. Let's find a question that we can try and answer a little bit here. Yeah.
Are they hashtagging it? Hashtag TrexCherub for their questions?
No.
All right, if you guys want us to answer your question, you have to hashtag it TrexCherub. Hashtag TrexCherub.
Why?
Because if we get 1,000 hashtag Trex cherubs, you're gonna cosplay one of the cherubs from the Valentine's Day event at SOE Live this year.
I don't know what you're trying to think is going to happen, because it's not. It's just not. I mean, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. So, there is a strict dress code for SOE Live, sir. Right? There is a strict dress code. Can't go showing.
I don't think it involves you not showing up in a diaper. All right?
There's no way.
Oh man!
Not
okay,
even depends.
Questions here in the chat. Okay, Captain Archer, who is actually in our league on the PlayStation here,
yes,
asks,
Disco Biscuits.
How do you feel about power changes? How do you feel about power changes, Trex?
Well, define what you mean, like the
I think he's talking about switching powers.
Well, since it's the first time second actually, that I've switched powers to something else. Because the first time I did it was on my villain tune, who I was originally leveling on my YouTube channel. He was leveling up sorcery, and I changed him to mental because I don't have a mental 2 anymore. Actually, crap, that's actually my second. The first time I changed my powers was my mental tune went to quantum. That's what happens. So I've done it from mental to quantum, from sorcery to mental, to fire to rage. That's what I've changed my powers to. Nice to know I've actually kept it in the same family of roles and everything. I didn't switch to healer to controller. That's what I did wrong. But I don't know. I don't see a problem with it. People actually were wanting that since the game launched. So I'm very happy that we have it in the game now. I'm okay with it. I am okay. For the one thing I know, when you're going from like a healer to a controller, like I did with my villain tune, remember you don't get like a free same gear button controller roll. You have to work yourself back up. Practically, you're starting from the beginning again, and it's rough. It's really rough.
Yeah, especially if you don't have DPS gear of that same level.
Yep,
you're definitely starting over again. See, and that's my issue with it. That's my issue with power changes, is people who, not that I have anything against people wanting to switch powers, it's like, me and you, we both have gone rage, and I've switched to mental, I've switched to a couple of controller powers before on my main, and I've switched to a healer power before on my main as well. I did those mainly to get styles, the style feat, the style feats that were specifically associated with those powers. Certain, the Rapture was only dropping for healer at the time, so that's why I switched to electricity and stuff. But when I did that, I made sure I had I made sure I had some healer gear on me so I could do that, And here's your rage ring.
Well, Michael Grid just tweeted me, what am I wearing a ring pop for? It's not a ring pop. It's not.
But like I said, I made sure I had that gear. So if I needed to heal something, I could heal something. If I needed to control something, I could control something. Granted, now it wasn't the best healer gear, it wasn't the best controller gear you could have at the time, but I could still fill in a slot if I was needed to. So I wasn't having to be a DPS only while I was those other powers. My thing is, my thing with switching powers a lot though is you need to You're not gonna become very experienced with the power that you have if you keep switching powers around like that. Simply because you can go be a healer for for a while, and then all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm gonna go troller, but then you go from troller to tank or whatever. He keeps hopping back and forth and all that. You're going to be. It's almost like switching just to be flavor of the month at the time, and you're not gonna be good at that. I mean, this is why that you can make more than one character in the game. It's like I have 15 tunes in this game, okay, and every single one of them is a representative. I have at least one tune of each power. So I still have a fire tune. It's a villain, but I still have a fire tune. I have an earth. I have an ice. I've got one of each at least. A couple I'm doubled up on. I think I'm doubled up on celestial right now. And I'm doubled up on nature.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing though. I mean it's like roll another character. Try the power out that way first before you switch over to, because you may not like it. You may not be. It may some powers have a steeper learning curve than others do. Like hard light. I mean, Trex, I mean you did a hard light loadout video.
I'm getting slack for every single comment.
Exactly. I mean it's DPSing with hard light has a serious learning curve to it. It takes time and practice to get really good with it. So I mean you can't expect to I'm going to switch this power and I'm just going to beast with it, because not every power is like that. Electricity, I know for a fact, isn't like that. I know, majority of the powers in this game are not like that. Some of them are. I mean, you can go in there. Ice tanking by far, and this isn't a slap at any ice tanks out there. But ice is the easiest power to tank with in this game.
Yes,
hands down.
Yes,
hands down. So that's my opinion on that. Next question. And I don't think is Meps in the chat?
I think he is.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yep, he is in the chat. Okay, he did speak earlier.
Yes.
Let's see, next question.
I got one here from Hypernova. Trex, do you read comics? I have a whole stack of comics behind me that I can't grab one because I can grab a bag and it might not be DC related, so I don't want to grab a bag and it's like, oh, this is my Marvel stuff, oh, this is my Valiant stuff, it's not DC. But I do read comic books. I might have to slow down a little bit because my pull list is getting bigger and bigger because new stuff just keeps coming out. Right now I am dedicated to the Green Lantern Corps, all the Green Lantern books. Pretty much all Lantern stuff for DC, I am all over it. And I want to say the entire Forever Evil arc that's been going on right now in DC. I might not pick up like the Suicide Squad or mainly the Blight side story that's going on with Justice League Dark members. I don't pick up like Constantine, but I pick up like the main actual titles, and I do have Arkham War. Yeah, Arkham War and Rogue's Rebellion. I do have those. But I am a Green Lantern fan, as you see. But yeah, I do read my comic books. Read them a lot every week. It's great. Just great. I am not going over to the EUPC or the EUPS to play Legends PvP. It's just not happening. It's just not going to happen.
You can barely get him to play Legends on USPC.
That's very true. And I did one match. It was a lair match. My Lex Luthor versus the Superman. I won round 1. I won round 2. I lost round 3. Lost round 4. Lost round 5. It was so close. So close. I lost my beat. And he picked up on it, and he became the better person. At the same time, I could have won round 4, I think. But I had like no power. He had a sliver of health, and he had power. And it was like, Frel, I'm done. Couldn't do it. I am on the USPS, but I'm not on there as much as Super Patriot is. I am a PC player. Super Patriot is the PlayStation player. I hop on for special occasions or for special occasions. It's not an always down pat thing. But let's go over here to the Ask DCUO. And let's see, let me actually refresh this real fast.
Are we stealing questions from their live stream?
Why not?
I think that's a genius idea.
What? I mean, they're still going to answer it, or some of them.
Yeah.
Normally, I mean, I don't see why not. It doesn't seem. I mean, we might know the answer, and you never know. Yes, comics do get expensive, Radium. They really do. Whew. That's why I'm staying away from Marvel. I only got I think 2 titles from there. I could buy everything Marvel.
Here's a good question. I like this question right here because this is more like going to be the answer. To this is going to be is like my opinion on it, and more than likely not the dev's reasoning behind it.
Here we go.
How come the CR requirement for the new gear is only 84? What about the 85 to 88 gear we worked hard to get? Now that it's skippable, that is an excellent question and one I have for the developers myself. My opinion on that is that, I think that, originally the Trigon gear, the Prideful set that you bought from the vendor in Wastelands there, you needed to have a 95 CR to get that. And I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was great that you had to have that CR in order to get that gear. Now they bumped it down to 84, which I can understand because, now we've got a newer DLC out and everything, so give people a chance to get their CR up by, getting that Prideful gear. But at the same time, the 90 gear, the Scion gear, you only need the 84 to get it. And honestly, I don't think it should be that way. I think, gear progression, I'm not saying, that, gear progression needs to be completely stalled, on the game. Everybody needs to slowly crawl to get to, the next set of gear. But I do feel that gear progression in this game is way too fast in some areas. Way too fast in some areas.
And I
especially with end content gear like this.
Well, I also blame or point to replay badges making it so easy. Because remember at the beginning, you didn't have replay badges. We had to run the content once, and we were done.
Right,
and that was it.
People done for that week.
Yeah. But for me, and how it's going to flow into it, because remember DLC 10, if I remember correctly from SOE Live last year, it's bringing us Tier 6. The new tier gear is coming in small group DLCs, because in the small group DLCs we have the new tier gear. We have the tier gear, we have the solo content to work up for. Then the large DLCs, that's where you're going to have our raids. We're going to have the operations, we're going to have the raids, and that tier gear is going to be needed for those raids. So we might possibly look at them bringing, more or less, they might be bringing that harder content, not Paradox Wave or Nexus First Day hard, but something along those lines. A little bit more of the mechanics to it. We might be seeing those come in DLC 11. Now, and that's my mindset for it. With this Tier 5 stuff, the Atlantean Monarch, the Prideful set, and even this new War of the Light gear, those are all clumped into a Tier 5 setting. Pretty much like how Norseman was with Hand of Fate. The Norseman was like a Tier 4.2201. It was just an add-on to that. So keeping it all into the kind of in the same CR level is understandable. It's a little bit better than Prideful, but it's not that much. So, and people feel that like, oh, you're skipping the Prideful. It's like, well, technically, you're skipping Prideful because you might not need the gear. Because of course, the Scion of Ion or whatever is War of the Light gear is better. Yes, but that gear still holds relevance because that's still what 50 feet points there for that style for Prideful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's 50 feet points right there. So it's still valuable. It's just your mindset of needing it. It's up to you. For me, I mean I might as well just go ahead and get the Ion Scion, but I'm still going to have to collect all my Marks of Reality and still get that Prideful set. It's still going to be.
And that's the thing. The thing is, though, I mean, like you said, though, I mean, it's whether people want to get that or not. So until they make, skill points more viable in this game, people aren't going to be willing to go back there and do it. I mean, people are going to go in there. They're going to farm Raven, reset Raven 8 times, get their 85 gear, and then they're going to start, grinding out, the tier 5 ops until, they can get a weapon, and then they'll, or Q into A and B and get the 90 gear that drops in there, which drops like it's freaking raining, like it's a torrential downpour with the 90 gear in there. I stopped buying when I saw how much the Vestments of Rage gear was dropping in A and B. I stopped buying the tiered sets. I was buying rings and necks and face and trinkets before I, started buying up any more of that 90 gear off the vendor in there, because, the Vestments of Rage was dropping so much. I completed out a full 90 Vestments of Rage DPS set before I even started buying any gear off the vendor for the Scion. That's how fast it's dropping in there. And that Vestments of Rage is the best gear in the game right now.
Yep. And you can still get to and you can still get the style on the vendor. You might get stats for it, but you can still get the style, and that's what I liked about it.
Yeah,
that's a brilliant thing. I hope.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, because you run that thing enough, and eventually you're gonna get the drop out there that you need.
Well, at the same time, I haven't ran it yet. I haven't had the time to really hop on and actually dedicate for an A and B run.
Every single boss fight in there drops a piece of 90 gear.
Yes.
You're gonna get a piece of 90. You're gonna get a piece of Vestments of Rage off of every single boss in there. It may not be. Granted, it's still random, so you may get it for a healer controller or something like that. But you're gonna get a piece. You're gonna get a piece.
Nice to get
so
pizza.
I don't know. Like I said, they need to do something with the skill points and make them more viable in this game. Give people a reason to, take the time to, go into Kondak, go into, the tier 2 raids, and go after those feats in there. Larry Liberty and Jens have dropped, hints about some kind of rework thing coming in with the skill points. We don't know what it is. Maybe, if we're talking to them later, we'll be able to get some info from them. But it'd be nice if they made the skill points a little bit more viable in this game. Because right now, the gear's completely surpassing the skill points. It's completely surpassing it.
I do see Ebenezer, or Ebon's, I'm going to call him Ebon. Battle for Earth brought Tier 2 duos and Tier 4 raids. Will one of the next DLCs bring Tier 4 duos and singles? I'm not really sure, since we don't know what content's coming in DLC 10. Besides a new Gotham that they're going to copy and paste like how they did with DLC 9. They're going to use the same technology to bring a copy of Gotham for its own instance type of thing. This is going to be surrounded by the Amazons with Wonder Woman. But other than that, we really don't know what next thing is going to come out. I know I would love for more of the iconic anomalies. I would absolutely love more of that. But I think the duos are counted as small group, isn't it? Are they counted as small? Okay.
Yes.
So with this DLC, I'm not really sure.
With Trigon, we got Tier 5 duos. And technically, you could call, even though they don't count towards the challenge feat, you could say that the open world missions are single.
Yes.
So, maybe in the next, small content, small group content, we'll get, some stuff like that. Tier 4, I don't see them doing that. I don't see them introducing, unless it's a reworked previous instance or mission, that they'll make it a Tier 4. Honestly, I think a good idea for Tier 4 challenges would be like stuff like the old Star Labs mission that the Batman mission, the final end mission for Batman. The Hall of Doom mission that you do for Superman and Oblivion Bar. Those would make awesome Tier 4 challenges.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah, increase the difficulty a little bit.
And make it easier for people to go after those feats that are associated with them.
Yep.
Instead of having to group up with somebody who's that mentor.
Yeah, I had
But
to.
lucky you ain't.
One of the guys I follow on Twitter, the Duke. I saw he was streaming, and I was on a stream, and he asked me if I had the mentors, and I'm like, yeah, and I let him into both places. I mean, I had that suit picture a couple of times because couldn't remember because it's been so long. But I mean, yeah, just scaling the difficulty up a little bit along the lines of tier 4, and those would work. Those would work.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how they
It'd
would
be
do it because I
fantastic.
mean those are mentor missions, but yeah, you never know. Never know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did do that with some of the challenges we have right now in the game.
That's true. It's true.
So I think and I believe a while back, Larry Liberty said something about opening those instances up so anybody could go in there to get those feats and stuff. So maybe that's something they're looking at doing, is introducing them as either like duos or challenges.
Yep. Let's see. I'm now looking at the. Wow, there's a Michael Gray with the top tweet apparently. As I'm looking through this, our characters have traveled into the past. Do you think one day we will travel to the future?
Ooh,
With the hashtag Legion of Superheroes. Little hashtag.
Yeah.
Never say never. It is a comic book world. You never know. Now,
Yeah, that would be cool.
Now, a question for you. We have the... it's not technically the roadmap kind of thing, but we know that the DLCs are going to be 3-parters. We already have DLC
Yes.
9, DLC 10 is going to start it, and DLC 11 is going to start it. Do you think that DLC 12 is going to be War of the Light Part 2? Or
I believe so. Yeah, I mean that because they introduced them as that at SOE Live.
okay.
They said we're going to have War of the Light Part 1, then Amazon Fury, then League Halls, or was it League? Yeah, something like that. I think they said League Halls, which is actually the Apocalypse and the New Gods story arc.
Can't wait.
And then I think War of the Light 2 is going to come after that. I do believe that.
Can't wait. Flyer Sage, there is no difference between the Scion of Ion and the Vestments of Rage besides the style. The Vestments of
No,
Rage.
that's not true.
Well, the Vestments of Rage that drop from the instances are, of course, the new top gear. On the vendor, the Vestments of Rage on the vendor is just a style. The Ion of Scion, that's the actual tier set stat.
Yeah,
But that's really
which
it.
is probably like tier 5.8,
Yeah.
and Vestments of Rage would be tier 5.9.
Yeah. Do you have a question for?
Do I have a question? Let's see here. Pure content.
Did it?
Yeah, that was my phone. Sorry about that. Let's see. I'm not sure what this guy's getting at here. Do you plan to upgrade the name system in DCUO? Something like character name at account name. Said this would improve a lot of social aspects.
No, it really wouldn't. What he's looking at is, say, on the PlayStation, Super Patriot at your PlayStation name. On the PC side, it would be Trex Rage at my station count name.
Oh,
or it could be
because my station name is my station account is my PSN. No, thank you.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, they could also tie it to the forums. Actually, yeah. I mean, they could try, but I don't see that being feasible. But I don't see that happening. That opens up a little too much. And at the same time, that's like a long name. It's a long name. Let's see.
Yeah.
See another one. Oh, Bumbling B here just wanted to know when more leaks for DLC 10 was coming. Shout out, love GU4. Hey, B. Oh, and by the way, for Game Update 34, they added something new to the test servers, which sadly I'm not able to show you because my test server client on my desktop's not working. But they, and this is the coolest thing, because Game Update 34 was already looking great, just a fantastic game update. Well, they added more onto the cake. They added more frosting somehow. They added that the home turf bounties are now going to be giving styles only.
Which is awesome, because I've been doing like a weekly event thing with my league to, go around do the CC bounties, and we're hitting up MBot and OBot too. For everybody needs to complete those 2 styles that they drop, and every freaking week, and every single person in the group, except for like one person last Tuesday, everybody's getting like Doom Seeds, Inferno modules. And I'm like, why? This is like so freaking ridiculous, especially now because, with home turf, and I'm just saying it's old, but it's been out for a while. It's been out for a while. And, it was kind of the way for people to gear up without having to worry about the big content, without having to do, Gates and Prime, or Vengeance and Dawn. So it's kind of a way for people to get that kind of gear without having to go in, worry about, getting into those raids. With those 2 bounties, I understand they're daily, but still, oh my gosh, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm very happy with that change myself. That was something that the forums have always been asking for, and they finally got it. And let me go ahead and pull down the chalkboard for the devs versus community. And look, devs are listening. No check mark. Just a big old check mark. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to highlight this check mark right there. Okay.
Can I just say for a minute here how ridiculous I think it is that you're wearing a red and a blue ring.
And a green. I also got my cast iron on there.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, there's a new question just popped up here. Will league halls be scaled by how many members you have in your league? That's an interesting concept.
I think they might have just a set number, or I'm sure it's probably going to be a huge number of how many people can be in the league halls, but I'm not really sure if they'll have an algorithm that will actually set it to where it's like if you have 500, you have 501, boom, your max now is 501. I'm pretty sure they'll have probably just a straight number.
I'm sure that more than likely the league halls, they're all going to be about the same size, no matter how many people you have in your league. I don't see them introducing, this layer theme's for the 20 members and below. This layer theme's for 50 and and below, or anything like that. The more likely they're going to have the same size and everything like that. As far as I'm sure they're probably going to be huge. I'm sure they're going to be huge. Probably, I'd say at least 5 times bigger than a layer. Would be my guess. They'd have to be. They'd have to, because this is your Hall of Justice. This is your Hall of Doom. This is where the Radium DCUO Black Armadas would be packed. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Because there's some leagues out there that only have like maybe 20 members in them. There's some leagues out there that like Black Armada, or what's the Heroes version of that on PlayStation? Kryptonians, Last Kryptonians. That have like over 1,000 members. I've known people in like Black Armada. It's funny, they've gotten their tune into Black Armada, and they've started scrolling down the league roster list, and they'll do it for like 10 minutes and still not be at the end.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of people in that league apparently. So it's like, in some league halls they're probably going to be packed. Will there be a cap on how many people can be in it at once? I'm sure there is. I mean, the cap for layers is 20, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, but the cap for league halls is apparently going to be a large number as well.
It's going to need to be. It's going to need to be. I mean, simply because, like I said, this is your Hall of Doom. This is your Watchtower. This is your Hall of Justice. This is where your whole league's supposed to be able to go, hang out, repair gear, duel, practice, stuff and everything like that. They're going to have to be big. They're going to have to be easily 5 times as big as a lair, I would think. And, the cap on it, I'm probably sure, feel safe in saying it. Cap on the population inside it, maybe around 100, I would say.
Sounds about right.
But as far as scaling it for like how many members you have in your league, I seriously doubt they're going to do that. That is an interesting concept, though, because you can have like your JSA, headquarters and all that for like like 30 members and below, and then have like your Watchtower, for like 1,000 members and below. It's like, but then I see people like spamming invites out just so they can have the big hall.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're fresh off the ship. Here's an invite. And then they start. Then they get that big hall, and then they kick all those guys out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Being all mean.
Well, I'm just saying. I see people doing that.
There's no news on the aura sizes. The slim line that we had a couple of weeks ago was by error. It wasn't meant to supposed to be that way, but they did fix it to make it back to normal size. Whether or not
he's talking about how freaking radiant the auras are right now.
Well, I don't see a difference besides them what they were before with being smaller.
I had to take the red aura off my tune. All right, because I could not see when I was getting ready to crash or not when this DLC first came out. I had to take it off because I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I got to pay attention. It's messing me up.
This red light, it's just I can't. Too much red. Too much red on the screen.
Yeah. So I was like, a little bit more form-fitting on those auras would be nice. Well, I'm looking forward to, and I want to see, are these freaking mist auras? Where are these mist auras at?
Yeah,
Meps. Meps, where are the mist auras?
Yes. How hard is rage taking? Like Radium said, it's not hard. You just got to get the timing down.
Yeah.
I just did.
All about timing and, doing like your pulls and all that. Timing your pullings, especially, so you're not, having to scramble and missing the window on canceling the rage crash.
Yeah, I finally released my tank, my tank video for how I rage tank, and I also did a video for the anger tree. And both of those are great tools to use if you guys sit down and watch it, if you guys do. And I try to go over the cooldown and how long the actual effect lasts, what the cooldown of it is, and with that knowledge in my mind, my rage tanking now, I never miss a beat.
Mm-hmm.
I am never when severe punishment is done, I have gotten my timing down where I can outrage first and then not have to worry about. It was like, oh, is outrage going to be ready on cooldown when I use severe punishment? No, because I've timed it very well, and I'm just not going to miss a beat. And once you get your beat, it's just like hard light. Once you get that beat going, it's no stopping you. It's just not.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is too, it's like with rage is actually. It's once you get a good rotation down with rage, you will not die. You won't die. So long as you got a controller there to keep giving you power, you won't die. So it's you activate activate, the punishment, lunge in, get the aggro, hit an aggro power, and then you can I mean, you can actually, depending on the fight, what's going on, you can actually sit there and go through combos, and fight these guys, help bounce them around, and then when your rage crash is about ready to happen, you get that rotation down, you can cancel it and just keep rolling through. Just rinse and repeat, and especially if you're using Dreadful Blast for the cancel. Dreadful Blast is by far the best cancel for Rage Crash, in my opinion, because when you're up against ads, it bounces those ads up all over the freaking place.
Yes.
So then you don't have to worry about them hitting you, and you actually still taking damage, because by the time they get back up on their feet, Severe Punishment's ready off cooldown, and you can activate it again. And then you can pull them all back into you, which knocks them up again even more. It's oh my god, I'm loving rage tanking. I really wish, and I was talking about this on my live stream earlier because people were asking me about if I'm going back to fire. I can't do it, not until fire gets some love.
Yep. Fire
needs some serious love. At least it needs to have. I'm not saying it needs to be able to be comparable to Rage, but the health buff needs to be something along those lines.
Yep.
Because right now it's just not cutting it. It's just not cutting it. Nobody wants a fire tank.
I do miss it.
It's true.
I miss it.
I miss it too, and I mean it breaks my heart to say that, to talk about fire like that, because I've loved fire, and I've always prided myself on being, a good fire tank for PvE. Able to go in and beat stuff that's ice is known only for being able to beat. Me being able to go in as a fire tank and beating it too. I've always kind of prided myself on that, but it's just it's not cutting it anymore. It can't stand up to the one shots.
Yep. Question here in chat. Your thoughts on legendary benefits as legendary players? I'm perfectly fine.
Honestly, and you know what? Legendary. Recently, I know that you guys are getting it on PC. We're going to get it on PlayStation soon. The 10% off on the marketplace. So they're adding to us, and that's some incentive for you guys. I mean, seriously. You get the most out of this game when you're sub to it. I'm telling you right now, you get the most out of this game when you're sub to it, and it's not a pay to win scenario or anything like that. It's just you get complete total access to your in-game cash wallet. You don't have to worry. You get being subbed, you get loyalty points that you can buy stuff off a loyalty vendor, which is stuff that you can get off the marketplace. You get free replay badges. The inventory and bank space is a lot more there. Not to mention the fact, you get access to all the content that's available in the game. So,
yeah, there was a thread that I replied to today that, I mean, and he had a couple of good suggestions, I guess. I honestly didn't read it. I skimmed through it. No, in all honesty, I skimmed through it because, one, it was another post about, legendary benefits, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, there was another post that had the same topic. And it was still very active. I come on today, a new topic about it, and it's like, well, why didn't you just reply to the other thread? Why'd you have to create this one? And his response was like, I did. It just got through all the drudge of other posts, so I decided to create a new one. Like, no! You don't do that. If you reply to the main thread, then you've done your job. You've spoken up. You've done it. If you're waiting to hear back from a dev to respond to you, then you're waiting until Christmas 2020. You're going to be waiting a while, and possibly never. They don't have to respond to every single post. Do you know that they do read them? They read them. Hell, we read them too, even though I really wish I didn't want to. And I honestly, I did a good job. I kept my mouth shut. Because I asked him, it's like, why didn't you just reply to the other one? And when he said he did, I'm like, gotcha. Just gotta move along now. Keep doing what you're doing. Press on. I'm just done. I mean, I've been a Legendary member since launch. And the stuff I've gotten, I can't really complain about. And I honestly can't even think of what to add on to it. I mean, the 10% marketplace, great. I can tell you now, as a Legendary subscriber, I'm perfectly happy with what I'm getting. I really am. I am perfectly happy. So, I don't know what to tell you. Wish I had more, but I don't. Okay, well, maybe one thing. Lock boxes, maybe something a little bit extra. Something different.
Well, with the lock boxes, I mean, you still get something out of the lock boxes every time you open it up.
Yes.
I mean, it may not be, something that you want. I mean, it may be a rare style that they've got in there. It may just be a lair item, but you do get a mark of whatever highest in mark that you can get at according to your CR. So plus, I mean, there's no limit on how many you can get in a day. I mean, granted, they're limited. I mean, they're kind of limited to time spent in the game. But I've played the game before where I've gotten like 4 in one day. And that's four marks of reality.
Yeah.
So
yeah, someone said
on
the forums that there was like a 6-hour cooldown, like every 6 hours of gameplay you get one, and I've gotten 2 like within an hour of each other. So, not really sure how that really equates. The warp cooldown times, it's why? I mean, I don't see the purpose. I honestly don't. I mean, I've never came across... I mean, this is from me, of course, my experience as a player. I've never cooled down to base, and then it's like, I did my thing there, and I had to warp to the watchtower, and then have to go, it's like, oh, wait, I need to go back to my base. I was like, oh, warp's on cooldown? You know what, I'll take the run. It'll be nice. But, I mean, that's actually happened only one time, and that was last week. Warp cooldowns. I feel if they if they brought that into the game, you won't hear the people going, "Oh, this is excellent." No, you'll hear the people going, "Is this it? This is all you did? You changed your cooldowns?" I know for me, the cooldowns it does not affect my gameplay. It just doesn't, and it doesn't even affect my quality of life because. I'm already in the watchtower, and whatever.
Well, see, and here's the thing too. I mean, I think the biggest issue with the warp cooldowns, people, an hour for, warping to HQ, a half hour for warping to your lair. I think the thing is that after a while, there's really nothing to do in open world, like in Metro or in Gotham, other than farm for exobits. So I think if there was like more things for us to do in open world, that the warp cooldown things wouldn't be an issue. I mean, because I've run into that a couple of times. I think I know what these guys are getting at. I've run into that a couple of times where it's like, okay, I got a new piece of gear. It's like I'll warp to HQ so I can get into Mogo and I can go to the new Metropolis and I can start, doing I can do one of the tier 5 ops, and then I'll get enough marks so I can get a new piece of gear. So I get a new piece of gear. Okay, now I need to mod it and I need to imprint it on my new armory. So I'll go to the watchtower. I'll mod it up and everything like that, and then I'll warp to my lair to imprint it on my armory. Well, I've still got 15 minutes on my warp to HQ, so now I gotta leave my lair. I got to go to the PD, I got to go in, and then I got to go to the watchtower because, I want to go in to, say, Wastelands or something like that. So, I mean, I get where that's at, but at the same time, I mean, you guys got these huge freaking cities to explore and do things in. And I think if there was just more for us to do in them with like end game content, uh, that the whole warp cooldown thing wouldn't be an issue. I get what these guys are getting at, because I mean, it can't be like, so, oh god, I gotta leave my lair, I gotta go fly all the way to the PD, then I gotta go into use the PD teleporter to get to the watchtower. And I get that, but at the same time, I mean, it's not that big of an inconvenience. Seriously, it really isn't.
Yeah, I go to my armory at least once a week, and that's if gear changes. I think I got a skill point in an instance, and I was already in my base, and I came back to my base. I'm like, oh, well, lucky me. Just imprint the new skill point, and I trudged along.
Michael Grid says we need mega bounties in open world. We need a Starro event.
The hell's a Starro event?
You don't know who Starro is? Starro, he's that big freaking what do they call those freaking starfish? He's that big starfish alien thing.
Wait, the one that's like in the ones that take over people's heads?
They had him in an episode of, I know for a fact they had him in an episode of Batman Beyond.
Yeah, it's the one that latches on your head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know the name. I just didn't. That would be pretty cool. I like that. 20 Raigers versus a Starro who has 20 million health points. Dear Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, epic freeze event.
All right. Let's also remind ourselves, I am a comic book fan. I am a Green Lantern fan. I am a Marvel fan. I am no way close to a Superman fan. And CBB...
Right, let me ask you a question. All right, who would win in a fight, Batman or Superman?
Like it would matter. Either way, they gotta go home to women. There's no winner. No winner whatsoever. So, but yeah, I never knew the name. I knew the alien. I never knew the name. But I mean, see, and Stevie B gets on me about that too from my Noda podcast. He like adds in does a DC joke or something. I'm like, what? He's like, you call yourself a DC player? You run a podcast called DC Universe Online. Yes, it's about a video game based off of DC Universe Online, based off of DC Universe, but they're their own canon. They're like, you play a video game based off of DC Universe. And I'm like, I'm sorry, they haven't input into the game. I didn't know. When they put it in the game, I'll know more about it. That's all I care about. But trying to look through the forums, and apparently the forums have been very quiet, or at least everything's been pushed all the way back to like the second page.
SOE Mod 22 and 19 have been hard at work.
No kidding. I saw them today. They were scaring me. It's like, man, you're shutting everything down.
Man. Those guys, they're like the axemen of the freaking forums. It's like, yeah, all the other mods will step in. It's like, okay, guys, calm it down. All right, knock it off. Somebody comes in there and says, no, I don't agree with your opinion. Delete.
All the time. All the time, too. But keep the questions coming. It's really this. When is the Nerds of the Apocalypse coming back on? I'm not really sure. We've been very busy with our personal lives. Stevie B just moved into his new apartment. I am just busy with a whole bunch of stuff on my plate. New game I have to do videos for. It's tough because we all work, and then we also have like different schedules. Because I think like the only times we can really record is like on like a Sunday, and Sundays for me are my days off, and my only 24-hour day that I'm off. So I try to at least play games. I try to relax, but then it's like I I love doing podcasts. I love doing my videos, but and in my eyes, they are for work. They are a job to me, and streaming to me is both a job and a luxury because I like to stream, but I also turn it into something like, oh, I can put this onto my channel for a job. So trust me, I might complain about stuff. If I complain about my videos, if I complain about podcasts, trust me, the complaint is a good thing. Because if I couldn't complain about this, then I'm not doing it right. It's like, my God, I have 5 videos I have to edit. I have 1 I have to record. It's due tomorrow. Oh, gosh, it's so much fun. I love the challenge. But when I try to have a day off, it's a day for me. It's a day to just try and relax and just let things go. If I didn't have such a boring job, it would be a real-time job, a 9-to-5 thing. But I try to work around it, and I also try to drink a lot. That's the best kind of medicine right now. But we'll get another episode done. We've just been really busy with real life stuff. So when we can get down to a proper schedule, we will. We just haven't gotten around to that yet.
Yep. Let's see. Questions. Where's Meps? That's my question.
Where's Meps? Where is he? We're gonna have to. I don't think I can. If I throw a rock, will it make it to Austin to land on his window?
No.
Did you prepare a SourceCast montage set to my... Wow. I did not. Yeah, I did not, Michael Grade. That's, I do love me some Frank, though. I do love me some Frank. And if it wasn't copyrighted material music, I would actually play it. But it is, so I can't do it.
You ducked my question.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Superman versus Batman, who wins?
I don't care. There's no clear winner.
Oh shit.
There's just not. And the thing is,
one of them has to win.
One of them has to win. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. I honestly don't know what to tell you. Batman has kryptonite. Oh, that's great. Well, what happens if he didn't have kryptonite? Well, if he didn't have fucking kryptonite, then he's gonna freaking die. I mean, for God's sakes. I mean, and then of course you could say Superman wins. Oh, Superman wins. Of course he's gonna win. He's an alien. He's super strong. It's gonna work out. It's like, oh, but no. Batman's gonna win. Batman has kryptonite on him. He's all power. He's always prepared. He knows exactly how to defeat him. Like, oh, well, now you're gonna bring in.
Last time I checked and all that, heat vision had a lot further range than the effects of kryptonite on Superman. Just saying.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God. Love Batman.
I mean, and see, and then once you try bringing in some comic book logic, it gets so saturated, so saturated, and people just go on, and it's like, I don't care, I just don't. I mean, it's an alien versus a human.
A good point about the kryptonite thing. Michael Grimm brings up a good point about the kryptonite thing. Metzlo uses kryptonite to power him, and Superman's beat him numerous times. So why is Batman able to beat Superman just because he has kryptonite? Logic fail.
But I don't know. I don't know. Looking around for any more questions that we could probably answer. It's but 100 episodes. I'm really happy that we made it this far. That I'm able to talk this long. At least. I'm happy.
I was upstairs. I was getting some of my son, seeing what he was up to, and all that. I asked him how he was doing, everything, what was going on. And I told him, I was like, okay, I can do the SourceCast now. He's like, all right. And I was like, man, I've been for 4 hour one stream for the SourceCast. But, oh my gosh, where's Maps? Why is Maps not here? I'm really on this right now.
You're on what?
He's throwing.
He's at the office. He's probably working.
Michael Grit. I know. Michael Grit said he's saying Ninja call him into the and Ninja invite him into this. If he at work, I would.
Exactly.
If he wasn't actually, during his work time, I would. I'm sure they were probably get set up for FNL and everything.
Yep, and yeah, I mean the pre-show for Yins will be starting up in about 30 minutes or so. So can't wait to see how that's going to work out. Let's see here. But it has been a fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
What? I thought you said
no.
something.
Go ahead.
It has been we did not get a cake for the 100th. We did not get a cake. I mean, it has been snowing down here in the south, and most places are like they're starting to open up, but it's been the snow hit the south pretty rough to the point that we didn't expect it. We just didn't.
They're a Walking Dead spinoffs because of the snow that hit the south.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's
1 inch of snow.
Well, that was in Atlanta. That was Atlanta, not South Carolina. But it's still hitting a little bit. But we've had the fortune to have amazing guests on the show. Like our recent person we brought on was Vagrant, new guy coming up on the YouTube scene over there on the project, on the DCUO Project podcast. He's on the project, right?
The Talk About Super Patriot Project podcast. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one he's on.
We've of course had the People's Champ Nimbus Yosh a couple of times. A long while ago.
Yep. And once Trex's internet is up and running properly and all that, we may have a couple of EU folks over here that are chomping at the bit to be on the SourceCast.
I know they are, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah. They understand. They understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand myself. That's one reason why I drink too. It's like, the stress.
Well, yeah, so we've had Nimbus Yosh on here. We've had Phil from the DCUO show. Mm-hmm. Let's see, we've had Larry Liberty's been on. Jens Anderson, Meps, of course. Lots of guests. Tharkus, Soar, Christiana.
Yeah.
From the council and all that. Well-known members on the forums.
Can't wait to see them again at SOE Live. Cannot wait to see them again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This I think this year is going to be even better than last year.
Very. Very. Because we're going to get more DCO people coming this year.
Yes.
We're going to have great panels again. Some amazing panels.
Brittany and Jemmy are supposed to be there, and Trex will be fawning all over them.
Over Brittany. Remember, Jimmy's married.
Yeah, whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
You'll be fawning over over both of them.
That's rude.
I'm not saying you're going to be hitting on her. You're just fawning all over them, both of them.
Yes. SOE Live last year was indeed our really big highlight to our show. We did it live at SOE Live. We were able to go. We were able to talk one-on-one with the devs. It was the highlight of this show was, in fact, the episode from SOE Live, because it was from the SOE Live that we did it. I think that's when we started doing it live every week, I want to say. No, I'm sorry, no. It was when we started posting them on my YouTube channel, on YouTube, for more to try and get the word out a little bit more, because Super Patriot keeps nudging me, telling me we need to promote more. And I want to say to all the people who have been here since the beginning, and even for the ones before SOE Live or whatever, even for the new guys, you're close knit to the point where I know your names. we know your names. We know who's been here the entire time. We can recognize you guys when in game or on the chat, and when in podcasts like this or others, when they start getting big, people are worried that they're gonna forget the guys who've been here before. I'm like, I'll tell you now, I play with you guys. I talk to you guys. There's no getting rid of you guys. And I can tell you that now. And I'm not gonna.
Even if we tried.
Even if we tried. There's just no way. But you guys have been here since the beginning. You guys have helped us out, and you guys have spread our word, trying to get our name out and all that stuff. And we've gotten bigger and bigger. Even on the show right now, we're at like 54. It peaked at like 60 before. When we have a developer on, it peaks up to like maybe hundreds. I can tell you now, 50 to 60 people every show. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how it goes, and I'm okay with that. I mean,
that's not counting how many iTunes downloads we get.
That's very true, and I don't know how many iTunes downloads we get because iTunes is just a horrible service, but we still have to use it. Well, there's just no way to look at the stats, and that's what makes me mad. That's what makes me mad through the whole process. But as always, we do appreciate everyone who joins us for the show. As much as I know you guys want to see gameplay footage on the screen, that will be coming once I get, of course, more stable with the internet. Because right now, I mean, it's still just a little rough. It's still a little rough. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm really happy that we've gotten to the point where we are helping the developers with this game. And a lot of people, they haven't really PM'd me, but when I try to speak up onto the forums, when I come into the forums, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying my best to deliver information that I'm trying to deliver information that I'm trying to correct. If you guys are giving like false information, if you have a question, I'm trying to tell you the information. But then, of course, I get some people that come in. It's like, oh, here's SOE's watchdog Trex right here. It's like, oh, just a guy gets. I've been called SOE's watchdog. I was called that indeed, and I was like, woof woof, whatever. And
yeah, I've been called a suck up to the devs before, which cracks
too.
Me up because I mean I've been very critical about some of the things the devs have done.
That he has, and so I go into the forums to try and help you guys give information. I can't really say much because I'm always NDA'd, but sometimes I'm not NDA'd and I can actually speak up about it. And when I do, I try to. But I mean, yeah, just getting. Trust me, if I was a forum moderator, I'll probably do a whole bunch of banning. Not to say the least, but I'll try to be as critical as I can be. But there's just so many people, just so much. And yeah, but the forums, I'm trying to be more forum active. And I have been very happy with how much I've been doing on the forums. But and I'll try to do more, and so that's all I can really say about that. But just I try to be I try to promote. And sadly, when I try to promote, I do get those people. It's like because even people in the Twitch chat last week during FNL, of course, it's towards the end of the show. It's getting towards the end of it. And I start promoting, hey, SourceCast, DCUO podcast over on my channel, click here. I, of course, get the people going on. It's like, hey, stop trying to promote your channel. And I'm like, this is the first time after the hour that we've been going on with the show, and it's almost over. If you don't want to come to my channel and watch the show, then you don't have to. You can just keep your mouth shut and move on. And yes, I do pretty much ignore any person who says crap like that. Right click, ignore. I don't have to hear you. I don't have to see you. Whatever. Thank you, Internet. Thank you, ignore button. But we will try to be a little bit more promoting on the. We'll try to promote more on the forums. I know you guys have, a lot of you guys have actually asked, it's like, can you promote more on the forums? I'm like, I do have an official SourceCast thread on the forums that gives every episode we have been releasing. It also gives the links to the YouTube replay, and also gives a link to the download where you can download it off the website. I don't really have an iTunes link, but I guess I really should put the iTunes link, I guess.
Burke and Dave, the NDA that we're talking about, that Trex is talking about, is the non-disclosure agreement we have with SOE for being on the SOE Community Council. It's got nothing to do with it's not the same NDA type that they had for EQN Landmark, which that was for the alpha test, and basically they were like, you can't stream. You can't record video and post it or anything like that for the Landmark Alpha, which they ended up lifting. The NDA we have is like, every once in a while, perfect example would be the feed unlocks. The feed unlocks. Jens brought us the information about the feed unlocks and what they planned on doing with it, and wanted to get our input on which feats we felt should be unlockable, which ones shouldn't be, and everything like that. So he brought that to us, and we actually knew about the whole pricing thing and everything months in advance before the unlock came out. We just couldn't talk about it. Nope. And that kind of stuff is, and that's perfectly understandable why they do that, and that's why we have the NDA on us, is so we don't, come out and blurt out. It's like, because like if they had put out that, their whole pricing plan for unlocking feats was, like 50 replays for, a 50 point feat, and then somebody from the council came out and like blurted that out on the forums or in a, one of us did in a video or something like that. That could like seriously put some negative light on what they were saying. I mean, that's what the council is there for. It's to bounce ideas off of us, on not just what, our opinions are, but what we think how the community is going to react to things.
Yeah.
And so, and honestly, the pricing plan that you guys have got, that's the pricing plan they came up with, and they introduced right off the bat. So, like I said, don't think that the once again, chalk another one up to the devs. They're not here to nickel and dime you either. They do want to make money, but not trying to nickel and dime anybody.
Yeah. So, which I can't wait for Game Update 34. It's turning out to be just one badass little game update. One badass little thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Almost up there with the update they introduced the option to ignore invites. Almost up there.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and they're knocking it out of the park, though, lately with updates, because Update 33 was pretty beast, too.
Yeah. That's true. But I want to say again, thank you all so much for tuning in every week, listening to us on the drive home. I know there was a player who started listening to our show
at work, I think, wasn't it?
He did like a whole marathon. Not in one sitting, but a whole marathon.
Oh, yeah, he just recently started listening to the show.
Yeah, a whole marathon. Finally caught up. And every time he kept talking about he got caught up, I was like, I felt warm. Give me all the warm fuzzies. Because that was really awesome to hear that someone was so dedicated to listen to us talk about this. And trust me, we try to be as informative. We try to give as much facts as we can. I don't like to play the speculation game because it brings up. I just don't. I may play a little bit around it, but I don't go full deep into. Oh, War Power is going to be the next power. Oh, we're going to get War Powers. No, because then at that time you're lying because nothing's been said. Now, of course, Jens came onto the forums because people were talking about. There was a thread about, hey, what would you do for Valentine's Day, for a Valentine's Day event? And people gave him
everybody into a cherub and make them go acro and bounce around on freaking pads.
Yeah.
That sounds like an awesome idea.
Always.
No.
But there was, Yins came in, and it's like, well, if I was a dev and worked at SOE, I would try to think of something a little bit more violent. And as soon as he said the word violent, everybody just jumped onto that thread and like, Star Sapphires! Star Sapphires! Yeah! I looked at the thread just blow up, and I just started banging my head. I'm like, why does he do these things? Why?
You know what's even funnier though is if he came in later, he's like, "My bad, that was a typo. I meant violent."
Eh.
Like with the St. Valentine's Day massacre.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad. That's not fuzzy at all.
You know why he does that? Jens is a troll.
He is.
Dude. Jens is a troll, dude. He seriously is. It's like, I was talking to him that one time when he was on here about balancing out, the movement modes.
Yep.
And all that, giving flight some love. He's like, but you can fly. I'm like, dude, come on. I can fly for 2 seconds and I get grounded for life. Oh, jeez.
But
I want to echo what Trex was saying, though. Like I said, Trex puts a lot more work into putting the show together than I do. I'll admit that. Fully admit that. But at the same time, I like to, thank Trex for, bringing me on, 80-some weeks ago to join him on the show here. And wish I could have given you those freaking models of Ranks and Mogo and all that. Man, if only you were premium on the PlayStation, you'd have gotten those.
Well, I do have Cypher was nice enough to give me a PSN card or a little voucher to be legendary. I think maybe 30 days of legendary wouldn't hurt on the PlayStation.
I don't think it would.
Maybe.
But Trex says, appreciate you guys, coming by here and listening and all that. Sometimes we ramble on and on about nothing, and sometimes, we actually, most times though we do talk about some really, game, involving things and all that. And we appreciate all you guys' questions, your input, your patronage, your following along with all of us and everything. And like you said, it's like, a lot of you guys been here for a while. We've gotten to know you guys. You guys joined in with us in the laughs and the jokes and all that stuff. And really want to push for this hashtag Trex Cherub for SOE Live. All right, I want to see if this a lot. If we get it trending for at least one day, it would be great.
What?
Because that means that would mean we'll get to see Trex dress up as a cherub for SOE Live cosplay day. Let's go. Let's do it.
I don't know what kind of workout regimen you think I'm going to be going on, but because
that's the thing, you don't have to be on a. No, it would be better if you didn't work out before.
I am not showing up in a diaper or even like some bottom toga thing with a gut. It is Vegas. There are ladies. I ain't having any of that. I will look nice. Look nice. I'm not even sure if I'll even dress up for SOE Live. I keep wanting to do like a cosplay thing, but every time I try to do a cosplay thing, it just like doesn't happen. It's either I just get over complicated or my mind just goes elsewhere and I just can't do it. But I'm not dressed up in a diaper in Vegas. That's a whole new level of drunk that I never want to experience.
Captain Archer's going to make 1,000 Twitter accounts. He's going to make it happen.
It's too much work for email addresses, man. It's too much work. It's too many emails for me. the new DLC does not come with a new weapon. There have been no talks about any new weapons for the game. Apparently, there's been hinted that a new mechanic for skill points will be coming in DLC 10, but it's still kind of just a up in the air thing. There's nothing concrete about it. It's still just a rumor. Nothing but that rumor mill. And it just keeps on spinning. Okay. So, but I'm really excited with the future that DCUO holds. The devs have proven time and time again that they are very passionate with this game. And they have been listening to the folks on the forums and on the council. So, I can't wait to see what is going to happen. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But I think we're going to wrap things up because we got 10 minutes before the US PlayStation tournament will be happening on FNL tonight.
Yep. Matches start at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm sure the pre-show is getting ready to start here in about 10 minutes.
Yep. So that'll give me time to go use the restroom and probably hop on the PlayStation a little bit and see if I can try and do Legends match with Yens or something. I don't know. I may or may not. I may just show up just to wave. But once again, thank you all so much for watching us, for tuning in every week. We will try to keep bringing better and better production. As you see, webcam is going. Webcams. It's because I have my webcam. My webcam's always worked. It's just I never decided to use it because, once again, I'm not really happy with my surroundings. But I'm looking at getting a green screen come tax season, as it's happening now. I'm looking at getting a green screen. It's actually really cheap. It was actually cheaper than what I thought it was going to be. So I might get a green screen, and so it'll be a little bit easier on the eyes. But yeah, production will be a lot better coming down the road, and I hope you guys are there with us to see it. So, as the normal sign-off, be sure to follow us on Facebook and the Twitter. Just search DCUO SourceCast, and you'll find us right there. And, Super Patriot, where can we find you?
Well, of course, you can find me at youtube.com/thedaddy'shouse. I am also on Facebook /thedaddy'shouse there, and I'm on the Twitter at thedaddy'shouse. I am also on Twitch, where you can find me at twitch.tv/thedaddy'shouse there. So stop by my channel and all that next time you guys see me live streaming. I might be live streaming more after FNL tonight. I don't know yet. We'll have to see.
Yeah, you streamed for a while. You were like, dude, that's a long time to stream. And I'm like, nah, you'll do fine. You'll do fine.
It's just filling the dead air in between, it's like once you dropped, I was like, okay, Balkan, let's go do something, to get you leveled up, again. And, then he left. I was like, what am I going to do? Oh, let's run Vengeance. I was like, I need that head codex.
There you go.
So, but yeah. So, yes, I might be streaming again after FNL tonight. So, and I will be on Friday Night Legends with Meps and Jens, coordinating the Olympus Legends 4 2v2 Legends tournament in Temple of Isis. Death match. Yeah. Watching people blow themselves up. No healers there. I'm foreseeing a lot of Saint Walker, so. I'm foreseeing a lot of Saint Walker. Saint Walker's a beast. Saint Walker got Nimbus Yosh to start doing Legends. So, I mean, that's saying a lot about Saint Walker.
Wow.
Catmon wants you to do the Blue Lantern Oath.
I have not practiced my Saint Walker voice. I don't even have a Saint Walker voice. Because with Saint Walker, when you see him, he's hope. He holds the blue aspect, so he has to have like this. See if I can do this real fast. With Saint Walker, he has to have like this omnipresence that his whole world, his mind is clear. He has no tone because everything is at peace.
Michael Gray wants you to do the Orange Lantern Oath.
Mine! I'm sorry. This is Larfleeze. Larfleeze, I can picture having a little bit high-pitched just because of how much he whines. Mine! So, there you go. I've actually never tried doing the Blue Lantern Oath before. Let me actually look it up. That's one Lantern Oath I really never...
White Lantern Oath?
No.
Is there a White Lantern Oath?
No, Kyle does not do any oath whatsoever. Oh, let's see. Blue Lantern. Oh, damn, actually, they're right there. Oh, they're actually... Okay, the Orange Lantern Oath is actually... What's mine is mine, and mine and mine, and mine and mine and mine and mine, not yours.
Well, Kyle's not the only person that's been a White Lantern, though.
Kyle is the only White Lantern.
Wikipedia.
He doesn't have one.
According to Wikipedia, all right, Swamp Thing and Kyle Rayner are members of the White Lantern Corps. Former members are Sinestro, Hal Jordan, Superman, Green Arrow, Kid Flash, Superboy, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Donna Troy, Ice, Animal Man, Batman, Deadman, and Simon Baz.
That's correct. And none of them had any... they don't have an oath. They do not.
Interesting. All right. Pre-show starting in like 4 minutes.
Well, fine. Fine. Well, you can find me over at...
No, I'm just saying we got to end the shows because we got the whole thing going on.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
I mean, I don't know if we're going to be on the pre-show or not.
Probably not.
But
Meps doesn't love me anymore. You can find me over at...
We wouldn't even come on the SourceCast, man. 100th episode, man. We couldn't get Meps on the SourceCast.
It's okay. It's okay. You can find me over at over on YouTube /Trexlight. You can also find me on the Facebook /Trexlight, and on the Twitter, especially on the Twitter at This Is Trex. So for Super Patriot and myself, thank you guys so much for listening to us for 100 episodes. Thank you all so much, and to take us out, I will do the Blue Lantern Oath in a St. Walker voice. So it's a working progress. But I'm gonna try. So. In fearful day, in raging night, with strong hearts full our souls ignite. When all seems lost in the war of light, look to the stars, for hope burns bright. That was iffy, right? That work in progress. You never know.
Work in progress. They'll get there.
Yeah. Night, guys.